Lock has shown us some of the most intense and ridiculous footballers in sports anime, but what if I told you many of them are actually inspired by real-life legends of the game? Let's kick things off with our protagonist, Isagi. The moment I heard Isagi's name for the first time, I immediately thought he has to be inspired by Filippo Inzaghi, and this turns out to be the case, as Kaneshiro, the author of Blue Lock, confirmed the connection. Inzaghi was known for his absurd ability to be in the right place at the right time, scoring countless goals through precise positioning rather than flashy dribbling or overpowering shots. His instincts in the penalty area and his talent for reading the flow of the game made him a true poacher. All of that fits really well with Isagi. His strength doesn't lie in physical dominance or flashy skills, but in his ability to analyze the game and position himself to influence crucial moments. Another player who inspired Isagi is Thomas Muller. Muller's nickname is Raumdeuter, or Space Interpreter, due to his incredible talent for finding gaps in the defense and his genius off-the-ball movement. He also plays for Bayern Munich, the club that inspired Isagi's club, Bastard München. And just a quick note, apparently the author chose the word bastard because it sounded cool, which is pretty weird. Like Inzaghi and Muller, Isagi uses his strategic awareness to create chances and make the most of every opportunity, emphasizing that football is as much about intelligence and decision-making as it is about technical ability. Next is one of the most expensive players in Blue Lock, the king himself, Baro. Many Blue Lock fans, including myself, initially thought that Baro was inspired by none other than Cristiano Ronaldo. This comparison makes sense, as they both share a workaholic and perfectionist mentality. The club Baro plays for, Ubers, is clearly a nod to Cristiano's former team, Juventus, and the two even share the same height. However, Kaneshiro revealed that Baro is actually based on the enigmatic striker Mario Balotelli. Balotelli was extremely promising as a youngster, however, he was always criticized for his poor attitude on and off the pitch. Just like Baro, Balotelli played with an aura of dominance, refusing to compromise or adapt to anyone else's game. His immense ego frequently got in the way of him reaching his full potential. Baro shares similar traits with the Italian footballer. He is an exceptional and creative scorer, but he's also a selfish and arrogant striker whose aim is to be the star of the field at all costs. So if Baro isn't based on Cristiano Ronaldo, then who is? That would be the talented striker of Manchine City, Chris Prince. Chris Prince has many similarities with the Portuguese superstar, including his first name and his nickname. His hairstyle resembles Ronaldo's iconic blonde streaked look, and he strives to have the perfect physique just like Ronaldo. Prince enjoys attention in much the same way Ronaldo does, and he shows off whenever he gets the chance. There are also some details that seem far too accurate to be a coincidence. For example, Prince promoting an ab machine is exactly like what Ronaldo did back in 2015. And then there's the humorous Coca-Cola reference where Prince promotes a water brand, claiming that water is better than cola, a clear nod to Ronaldo's famous press conference moment. Prince is ranked the world's #2 player in Blue Lock, and Ronaldo is the second best player in history. Okay, that one was a joke. I'm a Messi fan, so of course I'm biased. Next is the player who stole the #1 spot from Chris Prince, Noel Noah. While it might not be obvious from the first glance, Noah is actually inspired by the Polish goal-scoring machine, Robert Lewandowski. Lewandowski is well known for his complete striker abilities. He has an absurd finishing touch, exceptional positioning, and an uncanny talent for scoring from nearly impossible situations. I still remember, I couldn't believe my eyes the night he scored 5 goals in 9 minutes when he was playing for Bayern Munich. Speaking of Bayern Munich, Noah plays for Bastard München, which, like I mentioned earlier, is a clear reference to the German team. Noah's character embodies the qualities that made Lewandowski so extraordinary. He's a player who can read defenses, find the perfect angles, and score goals with both his feet and head. He's the #1 player in Blue Lock for many reasons. He managed to surpass the 2 GOATs of football to win the Ballon d'Or. Lewandowski was also on track to win the Ballon d'Or in 2020, however, sadly, the entire ceremony was cancelled due to the pandemic. Another player Noah might be based on is the French legend Zinedine Zidane. Similar to Noah, Zidane grew up in the toughest slums of France before going on to win the World Cup and the Ballon d'Or. He was also ambidextrous just like Noah, meaning he could use both feet equally well. Moving on to the most obvious comparison, Julian Loki, who is basically a copycat of Kylian and Mbappe. For starters, they share similar build, facial features, and hairstyle, and they're both French. Loki plays for Paris X-Gen, which is a clear reference to Mbappe's former club, Paris Saint-Germain. Even Loki's name is very similar to Mbappe. Julian faintly echoes Kylian, while Loki is very similar to Mbappe's second surname, Latin. Loki's playstyle is also very similar to the French superstar, especially his incredible speed. I mean, we saw him in action for only a minute or two in Season 1, and it was already clear that he's the fastest player in the series, even faster than Chigiri, and any football fan knows that Mbappe is no slouch when it comes to speed. In a Champions League match, he ran 100 meters in 10.9 seconds, which is insane. For context, Usain Bolt, the fastest human in history, set the world record for the 100-meter sprint at 9.58 second. They were both considered great players at a very early age, with Mbappe helping his country to win the World Cup at 18, and Loki already playing for a top European club at just 17. Another member of Team World 5 is Pablo Cavasoz, who shares similarities with arguably the best football player in history, Lionel Messi. Both are Argentinian and known for their incredible accuracy on the pitch. They are also short in stature, standing at the same height of 170 centimeters. Tokimitsu once claimed that Pablo is the best free kick taker in the world, and Messi is a freaking genius when it comes to free kicks as well. The other pro players of Team World 5 also seem to be inspired by real-life footballers. Leonardo Luna's appearance is very similar to Fernando Torres, and they're both Spanish, so it makes sense. He could also be Marco Asensio, given that he's left-footed and plays for Real, a clear reference to Real Madrid, where Asensio used to play. Adam Blake reminds me of Harry Kane, not only because of his similar appearance and the fact that he's from England, but his nickname is Goal Junkie, which fits Kane perfectly. Dada Silva's aggressive playstyle reminds me of Diego Costa, and the fact that Silva is from Brazil solidifies this connection. Costa is actually Brazilian despite playing for Spain's national team. Next, we have the villain of Season 2 so far, Ryusei Shido. Shido is based on the Swedish legend Zlatan Ibrahimovic, and when you compare their personalities, it makes perfect sense. Ibrahimovic is known for his bold personality with unshakable self-confidence to the point of being somewhat arrogant. There are a lot of examples to show this, but here is a hilarious one. When Ibrahimovic joined Los Angeles Galaxy, LeBron James sent him a signed Lakers jersey as a gift. Zlatan, being Zlatan, signed the jersey and sent it back to LeBron with the note, "Now we're even." All of that fits really well with Shido's personality. He has very high self-confidence and doesn't hold back from speaking his mind. And just like how Shido frequently bullies and fights his opponents, Ibrahimovic was no stranger to doing the same. They also share many similarities in their playing style. Both are physically dominant, capable of outmuscling nearly any opponent, which makes them extremely tough to deal with. Shido is one of the strongest and most dominant players in Blue Lock, as he was able to hold off even Kunigami. This physical dominance also extends to aerial abilities, making him an instant killer inside the penalty box. Both Shido and Ibrahimovic are known for scoring goals with stunning acrobatic volleys and headers. Shido's bicycle kick goal against Blue Lock 11 is almost identical to Ibrahimovic's iconic goal against England. They are both poachers, meaning they only need the smallest of chances to steal a goal even from nearly impossible angles. In fact, Shido's talent and skills were impressive enough to be acknowledged by Sae Itoshi himself. Speaking of the devil, Sae Itoshi is inspired by Japan's rising star Takefusa Kubo. Now, if you don't watch La Liga, there is a pretty good chance that you don't know how good Kubo is. He has a sharp vision, quick footwork, and can deliver precise passes to his teammates, all of which can be seen in Sae as well. Just like Kubo, Sae is a left-footed attacking midfielder with a brilliant ability to read the flow of the game, making him a constant threat in attack. Sae even plays for the same club where Kubo used to play when he was younger. But what about Sae's little brother, Rin? Rin was by far the hardest character for me to link to a specific player. Sure, he has a high football IQ, but that alone doesn't make him Kevin De Bruyne. He can easily score from outside the box, but that doesn't make him Messi either. I was about to give up until I noticed that Rin celebrates his goals by sticking his tongue out, something Del Piero famously used to do. But honestly, I'm still not 100% convinced. A lot of football players have this habit, whether it's after scoring goals or even while dribbling, so it's not exactly unique to Del Piero. I'll let you guys be the judge of this one. Who do you think Rin is based on? Moving on to Oliver Aiku, a player who recently gained a lot of popularity among Blue Lock fans for all the right reasons. His defensive style and commanding presence on the field mirrors Van Dijk's approach to defensive leadership. Aiku and Van Dijk are both physically imposing and highly strategic central backs with the ability to make calculated decisions quickly and anticipate their opponent's moves. They also have incredible aerial abilities, allowing them to reach great heights to intercept passes with ease. Aiku even mentioned that his favorite player is Van Dijk, which further supports this comparison. However, I believe there may be another player who could have also influenced Kaneshiro when creating Aiku's character, Takehiro Tomiyasu. Now, this one might be a bit of a stretch, as their playing styles and characteristics are quite different, but Tomiyasu is also a Japanese defender, and when Aiku's character was first introduced in the manga, Tomiyasu was playing for Bologna, a club that inspired Bolos' team in Blue Lock, and Bolos was one of the teams that offered to buy Aiku. So yeah, like I said, I've stretched this one quite a bit, but I still wanted to put it out there as well. Next, we have the Red Panther, Hyoma Chigiri. The author confirmed that Chigiri is based on the Japanese player Ryo Miyaichi. If you are a football fan and don't recognize this name, it's not because he wasn't talented, but it's probably due to his recurring injuries. Ryo was actually so good that he was called the Japanese Messi and even Rio Dino by the media, comparing him to Ronaldinho. Ronaldinho. However, Rio's career was plagued by injury, suffering 3 ACL tears, which is every footballer's worst nightmare. Similarly, Chigiri also suffered from an ACL tear when he was younger, and it almost made him quit football. And just like Chigiri, Rio was also known for his incredible speed and coordination. Seriously, take a look at this clip to see just how insanely fast he was. Chigiri plays for Manchester City, which is based in England, and Rio spent most of his career playing for English clubs when he was in Europe. Moving on to someone who isn't exactly a player, but an assistant manager, Henri Thierry. Henri's name is a play on the name of French legend Thierry Henry, and it's not only their names, but Henry was also an assistant manager for Belgium's national team during the 2018 and 2022 World Cup. Next on our list is Bachira, who is based on a player that made me fall in love with football, Ronaldinho. To this day, Ronaldinho is still considered the best dribbler in history. He played with a sense of freedom that felt more like street football than a professional match. He brought creativity to every play, making football a form of art that left both fans and opponents in awe. In fact, he was so good that during a match between his club, Barcelona, and Real Madrid, even Real Madrid fans stood on their feet to applaud him, which never happens because they're Barcelona's biggest rival. Bachira's love for dribbling and his instinctive style on the pitch perfectly capture the spirit of Ronaldinho, reminding us that football is meant to be both thrilling and fun. And also the team he plays for, FC Barça, is a clear reference to FC Barcelona, where Ronaldinho became a legend. Speaking of FC Barça, they have another player with insane dribbling abilities, Lavinho, who is inspired by none other than Neymar Jr. Lavinho and Neymar have many things in common, including their appearance. I mean, you only need to see Lavinho once to realize, yep, he's basically Neymar in anime form. He has Mohawk-style bleached hair, as did Neymar at various points in his career. They are both from Brazil, and just like Neymar, Lavinho made his name in Barcelona. He has a very cheerful and flashy personality, which matches perfectly with Neymar. But the similarities don't stop there. Neymar is famous for his incredible dribbling, flashy tricks, and a style that turns every game into a spectacle. Similarly, Lavinho has a playful and sometimes provocative attitude, often using his confidence to get under his opponent's skin. He even celebrates his goals by dancing, which is exactly what Neymar and Brazilian players are known for. Next, we have the lazy genius, Sashiro Nagi. Nagi is arguably the most talented player in the series, and much of it can be attributed to his insane ability to control the ball with his first touch. There are many great players with an amazing first touch, but the one who inspired Nagi's character has to be the Dutch legend, Dennis Bergkamp. This is because most of the goals Nagi scores in the anime are very similar to Bergkamp's iconic goals. Bergkamp was known for his flawless first touch and his uncanny ability to control the ball in tight spaces, which perfectly mirrors Nagi's style in Blue Lock. This connection is further supported by the fact that Nagi enjoys watching videos of Bergkamp, and he was the very reason Nagi chose to play in England. Bergkamp was also used to play for an English club, Arsenal, where he won a Premier League unbeaten and became a legend. Bergkamp isn't the only Dutch legend who inspired characters in Blue Lock. Kenyu Yukimiya shares some similarities with Edgar Davids, an iconic Dutch midfielder known for his ability to play both offensively and defensively. Much like Yukimiya, Davids had problems in his vision and had to wear protective goggles in order to play. Yukimiya's first offer from a professional club was from Ajax, which is a clear reference of Ajax Amsterdam, the club where Davids started his professional career. While it's not a perfect comparison, since Davids mostly played as a CDM with a strong focus on man marking, he did have the dribbling and speed that made him a major threat on the counter like Yukimiya. Both players are fearless players who refuse to let a health issue stand in their way, which deserves a huge respect. Click here to see 38 secrets you didn't know about Blue Lock.